Welcome to Multiness and Design. Moving on from our previous lesson on commercial building. So in this project, as we have said, we continue from the way we make import of the AutoCAD 3D and 2D, and we want to continue by projecting one after the other into the next stage. Like I've already said, the program of commercial building, especially high-rise building, is not done to only the architect, because sometimes you need to buttress the act of engineers, like electrical and mechanical. So now the space programming for restaurants are something common. The first place to provide is the sitting position, that is dining, where people are going to. So you need to understand the capacity and the circulation and the movement. So the next thing, very important, is the convenience place, because someone who eats may want to take his convenience by want to urinate or make use of toilet as quick as possible. So you create for female, you create for male, because you cannot just bring them into a single position because of what such act. So that is one. So another aspect is the surface area and some managers and every other aspect that you need to put things in. So you see the way the design was done. I wasn't the one who did the design, but the client sent it to me just to model the exterior part. So let me just use this one to explain to certain criteria as it didn't fit for anybody who have interest in becoming an architect or a designer. So that is what these channels are for. We are bringing up people who can design independently. So if you have a good knowledge of schooling, good. And if you do not have, we bring you up from here. So pending the time, you'll be able to have a certificate in your local education. So we have done this in the area of little bit of what we can do. So we move to the next stage, which is next level. And the next level, what we do here is that we want to remove this. I'm just saying none. So I only see what is here. Remember, I've told you we did this in the last lesson that everything we import was in a line space. They are all in the same center area to one another. So that is the beauty. So when you want to do this, since they are all the same thing, so you can actually bring what you have at the ground floor and transfer it to the first floor, since they have the same parameter, the same distance, the same length and breadth. So since nothing changed, so what you do is that you go to that place, select it, and you just select view, and you say copy to clipboard. Go to the second floor, and from there you say paste, align to current view. It will definitely be put in place. So when you go back to your 3D, what did you see? You are seeing it the way it's supposed to be. Now you go to your elevation, something is missing. Sorry, I don't know how this come back again to. So you select this. Now what you do is just select this particular then you change the height to 3 meters. Good. So you do the same thing for everyone, 3 meters, and you work on and do the same thing for everyone. Oh, sorry, this should be Ctrl Z. So this is to be 6 meters. Good. So you snap to that point. This should be 9 meters. You snap on the same last, which is what, 12 meters. Good. So at this point, you are able to define your space, and in the height of the building, then you move on from there to something peculiar. So when you look at it from 3D, you see that everything is snapped to a place. So before that, after then, you can then start demarcating, associating, and things like that. So remember, this first floor is a supermarket, it's an open space supermarket. in the sense that you sell grocery, different kind of things here. So the same pattern which was required is the same thing we follow to get this level done. So as you have done that, you continue with your progress, because most especially exterior aspects. So if you need this plan, is there available for you to access to and work on it. So it's all well and good in that manner. So now the next space here is the office. So after you have done with this, you can just come here again and say what you have already done. Say align, paste, align to the current view. So when you do that, when you look at this from the first level, you see that the whole floor is building up and everything, stage 1 to 3 has already been developed. So it's now left for you to start demarcating and put in place whatsoever you want to do. So from the look of things, you might decide to say, okay, what are those and how? The best thing for you is that you think forensically about your own elevation and do it in the some way that, okay, so in this development I'm going to do something different from what is actually in position of design. So what I want to do here is that I want to introduce certain things that will bring the design to limelight. And how will I do that? The first thing I need to do is that I want to create a floor. Create floor plan. Good. So here I just want to do the drawing of, good, select every part is to select. So you cut off the letter, the space that are irrelevant. You select in that manner, select all over, and let every space, let every side. From there you trim. Good. Trim everything and join. So from here you trim as well. Good. So from here now you open the staircase. So what you need to do in that place is that you open it through by creating void within the space. So you do the same thing here. Good. And the reason why the lift shaft is here is because the building goes beyond, there's something like go beyond a second story building, so like 4th to 5th story building. So it's not advisable, especially in architecture. You must have something that will take you to a higher level in a quick succession. So the law of lift is that any building that is higher than 2-story building going to 3-story building should be provided with what lift. So that's why this is there. So same thing you do here too, by putting this in place. So after you've done this, you will repeat this same thing for the remaining floor that you will create. So that's how you work on the project one after the other. Good. So you say finish, and that's being create the 4D. So when you look at it from 3D is our references. So you look at it, this is in level 2. You've already gotten that. So you can now bring this to the look like this. So select this and say copy and say paste, align to the following level. So this is level 3. Just say align to level 3, and you have it. So when you go back to 3D and go and see it, and you see what you have done. So that is it. So after you have done this one, you have gotten the orientation of the whole space and everything. Let's see. How we advise you don't retain all this particular bit, because since you are not doing interior or anything, this is just a guide reference for you So the best thing you should do is to get rid of this by either hide them or you delete them. So whenever you need them again, you can just contact the references of AutoCAD and see whatever you want to do there before. Because the beauty of Revit is that you are able to work plainly without any interference with every other software in place, except for the 3D like Max and maybe every other of 3D components that can work in them. So I'm going to do it and say select all instance in this space. Then I will say delete. I don't need them again. Select and delete. Select and delete. So I'm left with my main building. So I can now decide to twist it the way I want to and modify it the way it suits me. But one thing is that the entrance and every other thing belong to you. So if I want to get a reference, I'll go back to my AutoCAD 2D and get reference. From here now, I want to do something for myself and get myself a considerable activities. So what I do is that I go to door in the first place, select door. So let me just put something in place here. And later I will edit them and get them in the area that I want. So some places I will get door, some places I won't get. So you do this and you do the same thing. Toggle it. So good. So you have that. Let's have this as an entrance. Remove again. So that is it. I will encourage you. You can bring it back, especially the floor plan, and now you do that again. Go back there and say import. You can bring it in at any time you want. So say insert, and insert say import. From the import, go to desktop and wherever you save it to background, ground floor. So here you do what, instead of you doing auto fix, so you do manual center, so that you'll be able to toggle it around. So say open, preserve, auto detective and things like that. So click open. So it's here now. You'll be able to move it wherever you want to move it to. So this one will help. So what you just need is that you align this. Say align, go to the middle, good, then in the center, fine. So you have it in place. So this one will give you orientation on where you're supposed to put your door. Like what I did here was not right, so you can imagine. So you bring this into space by saying move, good. So this will be the door. So I think I got this one right. So that's just the experiment I want you to perform. If you don't need them, you can decide to leave them if you get the space right. But since I still want to use some of the elements within, I still need to hold them down and begin to put everything one after the other. So that is the way we work in this aspect. So after you have done this, so you continue developing it one after the other, bringing this in place, like just the door. Right. It'll be same thing here. So now line. Good. So in there we continue progressively one after the other. So that's how you work, and that is how it is. So you can continue to develop it the way is suitable to you. In our next class, we are going to work on the windows and every other thing. So bear with us for now. There's some issue here now that I need to attend to quick.